Welcome. Today I will share a powerful story with you, a story that proves anything is possible. This is a true story, a story about a janitor, a cleaner, who became a lawyer. His name is Robert. This story happened in America, in New York City. Let me tell you how it all began. Robert was born in 1972 in a very poor neighborhood in the Bronx. His father left when Robert was a baby. His mother raised him alone. She worked 3 jobs, cleaning offices at night, washing dishes in restaurants, doing laundry for rich families. Robert's mother worked 16 hours every day just to pay rent, just to buy food, just to survive. They lived in a tiny apartment, 1 bedroom. Robert slept on the couch. The apartment had rats, cockroaches, broken windows, but it was all they could afford. Robert's mother always told him, education is the key. Study hard, go to school, make a better life. But Robert struggled in school. The school in his neighborhood was bad, very bad. Old books, broken desks, teachers who did not care. Many students dropped out, joined gangs, sold drugs, got arrested. This was normal in Robert's neighborhood. But Robert's mother kept pushing him. Keep studying. Do not give up. You can do better. You must do better. Robert graduated from high school, barely. His grades were not good. He could not afford college. College was too expensive. His mother could not help. She had no money, no savings, nothing. Robert needed to work, to help his mother, to pay bills. So he got a job as a janitor at a big law firm in Manhattan. The job was simple. Clean the offices, empty the trash, mop the floors, vacuum the carpets. Robert worked at night, from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., 8 hours of cleaning every night. The pay was minimum wage, very low, but Robert needed the money. He had no choice. Every night, Robert cleaned. He emptied trash cans. He saw papers, legal documents, contracts, court filings. He did not understand them, but he was curious. What do these lawyers do? Why do they make so much money while I clean their trash? Robert started reading the papers, the documents, late at night when no one was around. He sat in empty offices and read. Most of it he did not understand. Too many big words, too much legal language. But slowly, little by little, he started learning. One night, Robert was cleaning. A lawyer was still working, very late, past midnight. The lawyer looked tired, stressed. He was reading a thick document, making notes. Robert cleaned quietly. The lawyer looked up. He said, "You are always here, working hard. What is your name?" Robert said, "My name is Robert, sir." The lawyer said, "I am James. Nice to meet you." They talked for a few minutes. James asked, "Do you like this job?" Robert said, honestly, "Not really, but I need the money." James nodded. He understood. He said, "I started from nothing too. I worked my way up. Keep working hard. Maybe one day you will do something bigger." Robert thanked him and kept cleaning. But that conversation stayed in his mind. Maybe one day, something bigger. What if I could be a lawyer? Robert thought. That is crazy. I barely finished high school. I have no college degree, no money, no connections, but the thought would not go away. What if? Robert started spending more time reading legal documents. He found old law books in the office library, books that lawyers no longer use. Robert took them home. He read them. At first, it was very difficult. The language was complex, the concepts were hard. But Robert kept reading every day, after work, before sleep, on weekends. He read and read and read. 6 months passed. Robert was learning, understanding, getting better. He started watching court videos online, free videos of real trials, real lawyers. He watched how they argued, how they spoke, how they presented evidence. Robert was teaching himself law. With no teacher, no school, just books, videos, and determination. One day, Robert made a decision, A big decision. I will go to college. But how? I have no money. Robert researched. He found community college. Community college is cheaper, much cheaper than university, and they accept anyone who applies. Robert applied. He got accepted, but he still needed money for tuition, for books. Robert kept his janitor job. He worked nights, went to college during the day. No sleep, almost no sleep. 4 hours maybe, sometimes 3, sometimes 2. It was exhausting, incredibly exhausting. But Robert did not quit. He took classes, English, math, history, political science. He studied hard, so hard. His classmates went to parties, to bars, to movies. Robert went to work, then to school, then to the library, then home. Sleep a little, repeat. This was his life for 2 years. Robert graduated from community college with excellent grades, top of his class. Now he had an associate's degree, 2 years of college. But he wanted more. He wanted to go to university to study law. But university was expensive, very expensive, tens of thousands of dollars. Robert had no money, none. He applied for scholarships, financial aid, loans. He wrote essays explaining his situation, his dreams, his determination. Most applications were rejected, but one said yes, one scholarship for low-income students. It would cover half his tuition, half, not all. Robert still needed more money. He took out loans, student loans, loans he would have to pay back for many years. But he didn't care. This was his chance, his only chance. Robert went to university. He studied political science, pre-law. He worked part-time, still as a janitor, in the university library, cleaning at night, studying during the day, taking classes, writing papers, taking exams. It was hard, so hard. Robert was 26 years old now. Most students were 18, 19, 20. Robert was older, much older. He felt out of place, but he kept going. He made friends with other students. Some were surprised. "Are you a janitor and a student?" Robert said, "Yes, I work to pay for school." Some students admired him. Some looked down on him. Robert did not care. He focused on his goal, become a lawyer. Nothing else mattered. 4 years later, Robert graduated with a bachelor's degree in political science. He had done it, but he was not finished, not yet. To become a lawyer, he needed to go to law school, 3 more years, and law school is even more expensive, much more expensive. Robert applied to law schools, many law schools. He took the LSAT, the law school entrance exam. This exam is extremely difficult, very competitive. Robert studied for 6 months while working, while finishing his bachelor's degree. The exam was hard, so hard, but Robert did well, not perfect, but good enough. He got accepted to several law schools, not Harvard, not Yale, but good schools, state universities. Robert chose the cheapest one, the one with the best financial aid. He took out more loans, more debt. He was now $100,000 in debt. $100,000. That's a lot of money, more money than Robert had ever imagined. But he believed, this investment will pay off. I will become a lawyer. I will make a good salary. I will pay back these loans. I must. Law school was brutal, the hardest 3 years of Robert's life. The workload was insane, reading hundreds of pages every night, writing papers, preparing for class, taking exams, competing with other students, smart students, students from rich families, students who went to expensive private schools, students who had tutors, had connections, had advantages. Robert had none of that, but Robert had something else: hunger, determination, a reason to succeed. He could not fail. Failure meant wasting years, wasting money, disappointing his mother, going back to being a janitor forever. That thought terrified Robert, so he studied harder than anyone. He slept 4 hours a night, sometimes less. He stopped his janitor job to focus completely on school. He lived on loans, on ramen noodles, on cheap food. He had no social life, no girlfriend, no fun, just study, just law, just his future. In his third year, Robert applied for internships at law firms, big law firms, small law firms, government offices, anywhere. He wanted experience, real legal experience. Most firms rejected him. They wanted students from Harvard, from Yale, from Columbia, not from state universities. But one small firm said yes, a small personal injury law firm. They took Robert as an unpaid intern. Unpaid, no salary. But Robert didn't care. He needed experience. He worked for free. He learned how to write legal briefs, how to research cases, how to talk to clients. The lawyers at the firm